Something completely different. Fear is something most of us try to avoid. But our next speaker built his career by walking straight into it. Marque Ohmes is a world-class aerialist, stuntman, and speaker who understands trust at a level most people don't even experience. When your life depends upon it, fear has a way of shaping you. His work translates into something practical. How to move forward, even when you're not ready and you're shaking in your boots. So please welcome Marque Ohmes. Thank you, Marque.
Thank you, Fifth. Hello, I am so excited to be here. And as you just heard, I used to be a professional aerialist with my wife. We toured the world and we were featured in 2 Las Vegas shows on the Strip. And then for the last 20 years, I've been a professional stuntman in about 150 productions, including some of the Marvel movies, Thunderbolts, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Stranger Things and Walking Dead. And what I'm doing now is I'm sharing some of those lessons that I've learned in those really extreme high pressure jobs. And I'm trying to share them with others. And so today we're going to talk about our inner voice and how to get more positivity in our life. But before I begin, I want to ask a simple question. I would love it if you put it in the chat, but either way, just answer this question. Do you feel like you have a very positive voice, or do you feel like it's an area that maybe you could work on? Because if you would have asked me this question 20 years ago, I would have said, I am good. I have a wonderful positive voice. I have a fabulous wife. I have an awesome career. I have a great relationship with my family and friends. I'm healthy. And I had nothing to worry about. I had a great life and everything was positive. And then about 15 years ago, I started looking at something and I started questioning it. And that was, I had a negative thought a long time ago that said, I'm not going to be a good father, so I don't want children. And when my wife and I first started dating, it was early 20s. And she wanted children. And I said, no, I'm not going to be a good dad. I don't want children. And this went on over and over. Everyone would ask us, hey, are you going to have kids? No, I'm not going to be a good dad. I don't want children. And about 15 years ago, I started looking at it and I went, wait a minute. How come this negative thought in my brain has turned to a fact? It wasn't just an opinion anymore. It was a fact. That's exactly how I stated it. And so I questioned it and I reevaluated it. And thank goodness I did, because now my wife and I, we have a wonderful 8 going on 9-year-old son, and he is the joy of our lives. So today we're going to talk about 2 reasons why your brain brings negativity into your world. And we're going to give 2 techniques to help you combat that. So the first one we're going to talk about is negativity bias. Now, I know everyone has heard about this. We talk about it all the time, but it all started really at the beginning of man, because back then, everything around every corner was danger. And so it really was a protection, kind of a defense mechanism to keep you safe. So if something negative was there, you had to pay full attention. Your brain had to focus on that. And maybe the positive things, yeah, not so much. And as nowadays, maybe danger doesn't go around every corner, and yet still the negative things are what sticks to us. I know that if you have bad service in a restaurant, for example, people are like, can I speak to the manager? I need to talk to the manager. How many times have we said, if you had great service, can I talk to the manager? I'd really love to tell them how great you are. We maybe do it, but we have to kind of force ourselves to do it. It isn't natural. So we're going to combat that negative bias with positive morning affirmations. So I've been doing this since I was an athlete back in high school when one of the coaches suggested it. Back then, I used to kind of say things like, I am invincible. Nothing can stop me. And you know what? Those are really good. They get you motivated. They bring energy to you. And that's awesome. But studies have shown there's better ways to do your positive morning affirmations. So let's talk about 5 rules nowadays that they really suggest to do. Number 1 is you want to make them believable. So saying I am invincible, yeah, it might be there, but your body kind of knows, I know I'm not invincible. So you want to make it believable. Number 2 is you want to tie them to your values. Things that are important to you, tie them to those. Aim them at behavior, not fantasy. And use self-compassion instead of self-judgment. Say things that lift yourself up. instead of judging yourself. And then lastly, maybe pair them with a specific next step. So some categories, maybe with some examples. Here we go. Core identity and growth. And you could say things like, today I keep small promises to myself. Progress and growth. Small steps still count. Courage and action. When doubt shows up, I answer it with action. Boundaries and self-respect, because this is an important one. My time and energy matter. And finally, calm self-compassion. I can be kind to myself and still expect growth. See, you can do these in the morning looking in the mirror, but the important thing is you have to attach your feelings to it. You have to internally feel these. A lot of times what I do is when I'm driving to work, I'll say them, and I'll repeat them over and over until I truly believe in them and I feel them inside. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to give you a head start on your day. We know negative things are going to happen that day. But if I've given myself 3 to 5 positive affirmations that morning, it's like getting a head start in a race. If I'm going to race something and I have a head start, I have a better chance of winning. So when something negative happens, it doesn't make me go down this spiral. It doesn't trip me up and make me ruin my whole day because I'm still in the lead. So that's number 1. Number 2 is the reticular activating system, or RAS system. Now what this is, it's the brain filtering device. So it takes things that stimuli that you're receiving outside, because you get way too much for your brain to withhold. And it brings it stuff into your conscious mind. A good example of this is, let's say you're about to buy a car and you've kind of settled on a certain model. Yeah, I'm really thinking about this model. All of a sudden, you're going to start noticing that model everywhere. Now that model was always there, but now your brain is picking it out and saying, hey, look, there's one there. There's one over there. Because it knows that that's important to you now. So it puts it in your conscious mind. Now think about this real quick. If we already have negativity bias, which makes us focus more on negative things, what do you think the reticular activating system is going to focus on and bring into your conscious brain? That's right, more negative thoughts. So we're going to combat that with positive nighttime journaling. Now, I am not talking about writing a 20-minute journal about your whole day. To be honest with you, that's not going to help. It might actually hinder if you had a bad day and you're thinking about things that didn't go so well. No, what we're talking about is come up with 3 to 5 things that day that went really great. You know, maybe what went right today, and keep it simple, specific, and repeatable. You could say things like, where did I handle something well today? What am I proud of? Focus on 3 good things, 1 lesson, 1 next step. What am I grateful for right now? What am I excited about tomorrow? The power comes from consistency, not the depth. What is 1 lesson I want to carry into tomorrow? Doing this every day is what's going to help. And what it's going to do is it's going to change your outlook on things. It trains your attention to notice what went right and not only what went wrong. And over time, that can reduce the feeling that every hard moment defines the whole day. Now, think about that. If you do this all the time, your brain is going to know you're going to do the journaling that night. And it's going to start finding these positive things throughout the day. It's going to say, wait, look at that. That was something good. I can write that down later. Look at this. That's something good. I can write that down later. You're going to start recognizing more positive things in the day and not so many negative things. Now, if you do these 2 things, 3 to 5 minutes each, that's it. If you do your positive morning affirmations and your nighttime positive journal, you've just bookended your day in positivity. It's going to help you sleep better. It's going to strengthen your relationships. It's going to help your career. Consistency is what matters. And finally, I want to leave you with this quote. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Confucius. You don't have to make huge changes at the beginning. Do small things. But the main thing is be consistent. Every day, morning affirmations. It's easy once you get started. You're going to actually look forward to them because you know what? It's a joy. It makes you smile. It brings love into your heart. And nighttime positive journaling. It's going to be fun for you to remember what happened that day that was good. Thank you. Once again, my name is Marque Ohmes. You can find more of me at marqueohmes.com. And I also right now have a special guide, and it's called A Stuntman's Guide to Managing Fear. And it's free at my Flowlance store. And all those links will be given to you later. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mark.